All right, in this video, I wanted to talk a little bit about using text evidence in the body paragraphs of your essay. So when you're using text evidence, you want to make sure that you're using a combination of quotes from the actual text that you're writing about, but also you want to be paraphrasing details. Basically, in your own words, you want to discuss things that happened in the story or in the article. And then you want to use the quotations for the really powerful sentences or lines that are the most significant, the most important, that are really going to highlight your thesis or the claims that you're trying to make. So you don't want to have just one or the other. You don't want to just have quotations, but you also don't just want to have paraphrase details. A really effective essay is going to have a combination of the two. So I'm going to point us right now to the model essay. When Abby Francis starts to give her evidence, she starts off by talking about how the author is describing the setting. And then in the next sentence, she actually gives the specific details from the story that show descriptions of the setting. So she actually uses first a quote from the story, protective gleam. But then here, right after the protective gleam, she actually, in her own words, tells us that the protective gleam is a description of the snow. But then here, she uses a direct quote, just the word nonsense, because the author described it as nonsense. So again, that is a descriptive word. So she's quoting it from the author, but then here, she's following in the rest of the sentence by just kind of paraphrasing what the characters, the author and her friend, were doing as they walk through the protective gleam. Or as they talk nonsense, sorry. They're walking, that's what they're doing, as they're talking about nonsense. So you can see here, this entire sentence is a combination of quotations and also in the student writer's own words, what's happening in the story. Look through your draft and see if you can make your body paragraph a combination of these two types of evidence.